This is Talk It Out, and today's episode is going to be about self-hate and about how we have oppressed groups of people or people who are, marginalized, who also internalize their own same hatred, as in, like, you're black but you hate black people, or you're poor and you hate poor people, or something like that. So go ahead, whoever wants to start it off.
This episode is called Confessions of an Ex-Coon.
I don't got time.
Because that's exactly what I used to be back in my wayward days. So this, like we said, this episode is about self-hatred, internalized oppression, whatever. It's pretty much like K.T said, if you're of a marginalized group, you start internalizing the hatred and the oppression and the pain that is forced upon you for being who you are, and you project it onto somebody else, aka a coon, aka an Uncle Tom, aka a Sambo, or whatever other racial words we have for that. This can go to Joy. Why do you think somebody like a Raven Symone or a Stacey Dash would get on national TV and talk bad about her own race?
For money. Well, in Stacey Dash's situation. What do you
think about Raven? Why do you think her?
For publicity. She's back in the spotlight. She's got her own show. Well, not her own show, but she's got her seat on The View. She has like a seat. Mm-hmm. And you know how many seasons she's been on? And how many people have been taken away and gone since she's been there?
Yeah.
Like, she's not left, so she's not leaving. She brings the most controversy to the set. That's why she's there. So
you're saying it's profitable to talk down to your own people to entertain another group of people?
When you're a celebrity, to me, I don't honestly know if she feels this way.
Mm-hmm.
If she does, she probably does. She probably doesn't. I don't know. I can't say. But I can say that her career did get a lot better.
Sure.
She came out on, she's always been the good girl, the good Disney child who's never lost her way in this world, who's like, Raven Symone was my idol.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all, I thought I was Raven.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't know. I used to, that's so fake. Anyway, I tried to watch everything she was in. I was a die-hard Raven. She was my first concert.
What?
Okay? Yes. And I was like 13 or 14 when I went to my first concert.
Uh-huh.
So I was hecka old, but God,
this
yeah.
is off subject, but mine was Jesse McCartney. No shame. That was the
I went to go see him for my 21st birthday.
Yeah, that was.
I'm sorry, we so off topic, but but yeah, she was my everything growing up. I will say that she was everything to me, and when she started her whole comeback on Oprah, she did their interview. And you can tell, like, everything she's done since her interview with Oprah, she's just gotten. She tried to have her show, State of Georgia or whatever,
mm-hmm.
on ABC Family back then when it was ABC Family, and it tanked. I don't know why. I loved it. I watched it every day, but it tanked. And then she did the interview with Oprah, and now she's got her own talk show host coming out with another album.
Wow.
So the talk, if she went on there and had everything positive to say,
yeah.
they would have been like, oh, nothing's changed. She's still great. We still love her, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
She's still Olivia. But she went on there, caused mega controversy, not just with her own people, with white people too. She just caused controversy everywhere, and especially within the Black community, with the people who love her,
mm-hmm.
with the people who identify her as Olivia, and the I don't know, remember her name on Hanging with Miss Cooper,
mm-hmm.
but she's the one who we all identify with. And when she goes on there and she says crazy out of the box stuff, then it's like, what? What? Can you believe Raven said?
Right.
It's crazy.
So it's become a catapulting career move to just be as outlandish as possible when it's about talking bad about your people. So
yeah, I don't even think she was. I think it spiraled into talking bad about her, quote, her people. I think it started out as her saying, first she was like, "Oh, I'm not American. I'm this. I'm that." And then
I'm not African American.
Yeah, I'm not African American. I'm just American. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, "Oh, I'm gay, but I don't want to be identified as this. I just want to be a girl who can love anybody I want." Like, okay, we get it. We really don't care about that. Everybody was pretty mad about the whole "I'm not African American" thing, though, because I don't know if you watched The Talk, but and this is not a word for word quote, but the lady on there, Cheryl Underwood, she made a great point about when Raven Symone came out, and she was like, not came out, Al, but came out talking about how she wasn't an African American, and how even though she's gay, she don't want to be identified as this. And she said something wonderful. She was like, "You can say you don't want to be labeled, and that's quite fine.
Yeah.
But if you were being oppressed, you're Raven Symone. You're really not doing anything. You've already made it in life, really."
Yeah.
But if she was being oppressed because she was black, because she was gay, she would have to say, "Hey, this is me. Accept me for me."
Right.
To no longer be oppressed. You know what I'm saying?
It's a privilege thing.
It's a privilege. Exactly.
Yeah.
She can do that because she's Raven Symone. But Jonah Lee, she can't do that.
Right.
Whoever Jonah Lee is.
Is that a new celebrity? I don't know.
No.
Who's Jonah
That
Lee?
sounds like a name, doesn't it? You name your kids Jonah Lee.
Please don't name your child Jonah Lee.
Okay, so we talked about Raven. What do y'all think? I don't know if y'all have seen the video. This rapper dude named Kodak Black. Now he's called Kodak Black because he got dark skin or whatever. He does have dark skin, but he came out with a song, or there's a video on Facebook of him saying, "I don't date black bees. I'm already black." And so he's saying he doesn't date black women because I guess he's already black, so he only dates quote unquote foreign women. What do you say to
the same thing I said to Lil Wayne when he said he don't like dark skinned women?
Mm-hmm. What do you say?
Fool.
Why do you think that's in hip hop? Why is that become such a big, common, universal thing? I don't date. Either it's I don't date dark-skinned women, or I don't date black women. All my women from other parts of the world, or they're not black, or they're white, or they're
like that "Hola, ¿cómo está?" as Konnichiwa song.
He was talking about everybody though.
That song kills me.
So what do you?
Offended for everybody. At first, I was offended for everybody when I heard it, but then I was like, okay, he's talking about everybody. It's humorous. It's supposed to be funny. I get it. Okay.
So what do you think? I'll get to you, KT, but this is like a black thing.
Yeah.
Joy, what do you think about? What do you think about these? What Kodak Black? Let's go back to Kodak Black. He is a fool, but why do you think that's such a? Because I remember in my establishment, I had a child who was 4 years old, and there was he was a boy, and there was some Hispanic little girls in there. And he says, he was talking to one of the little boys. He was like, "Yeah, I get a whole bunch of girlfriends. All my girlfriends are white or Mexican with long hair." I said, "You're 4. How do you even know what a race is? How do you even know? Why are you already at this age putting a certain type of person with light skin and long hair over a black woman who looks like your mother, who looks like your grandmama. Like, they're starting that young. Like, why do you think this is such a common sentiment that you hear, not even in hip hop, but just in everyday life?
Truth be told, I do remember a time. I never really, okay, my mom didn't allow us to, not even allow us, but we really didn't grow up with BET and stuff like that just because we really didn't have cable. So whenever we saw 106 in Park, I was like 14 or 15, finally watching that. And I saw a video, like I think it was a Chris Brown video, and she had a dark skinned girl in there. I was like, "Ooh, I see her!" But that was the last video I saw ever.
Wow.
Really, really, with a dark skinned girl. Besides T.I., you can have whatever you want. Okay, that girl, she was from Hanging with Mr. Cooper, I think, or what? She was from Parenthood. The girl from Parenthood. She's dark. She was a little dark skinned. And besides those two, I really can't name a lot. And that's because rap, to me, no longer is an African American thing or black or whatever you want to call yourself. It's no longer just a dark skin, your black thing. I'm gonna call it black. It's no longer just a black. I'm black, so I listen to hip hop. Everybody listens to hip hop. Well, not hip hop, but rap. Everybody listens to rap now. And when white people listen to rap and they make videos, I think it's a part of assimilating into their culture. If I'm a rapper and I want to be accepted by the white people who listen to me, then the girls that I date have to look somewhat like them. So let me get this light-skinned girl instead of this dark-skinned girl because a white man will like her better.
But how does that translate to everyday life? Like, even in just being at a school or walking down the street, or
it is everyday life, because then it becomes, because once you surround yourself with that in the media, then it becomes, oh, you dark skinned, so nobody like me. I got picked on for being dark skinned. Like they used to like tease me. I had to learn to fight, y'all. They used to tease me because I was dark skinned. Like, oh, you so black, you can't nobody see you.
Wow.
Or something like that. And then I just learned not to care. And soon, well, that's what all the girls would say because they thought they were gonna get picked by the guys.
Yeah.
And then it's just a societal change that slowly happens throughout the years. And it goes all the way back, really, to finish my sentence. It goes all the way back to
slave times.
Ooh, this is how you know we connected on that level. So go ahead. I know K.T's not black, but I don't feel right leaving her out of the conversation.
K.T can talk about the special snowflake syndrome.
Don't tell her what she can talk about. Do you have an opinion on this, K.T?
I mean, you can talk about this. Talk. Come on.
And okay, so me and Gabby actually talked about this before. It's really crazy that you say that, because like colorism, kind of like the self-hate part, we do have that in the white community, but it's mostly like you're not a tanned girl, so
and they trying to be darker.
No, that's completely true. Like literally, like we have all these white people who go out and like in our community who tan all the time, and they pay like hundreds of dollars a year to tan and be darker skinned. But then, like you were saying, they make fun of darker skinned women, and that in your community, and that makes no sense at all.
Well, they want to be dark
switch communities.
They want to be
dark to an extent.
To an extent,
they want
to be like
to be my skin tone or somebody darker than me.
Never.
That's too much. They want to be like your Puerto Rican caramel complected maybe person, or your Dominican person, like, oh, okay,
but the special snowflake syndrome.
Wait,
what?
You've experienced because I don't want to tell all your business, but you have dated a lot of black guys. Can you tell us, while dating them, at any time did they put down black women to oppose you?
Lot.
Can you talk about that?
A whole lot. Black women, oh my gosh, like don't like oh my god, I had this guy one time. I'm not gonna disclose his name, but he knows who he is. He told me that he said that all the black men around here, all they do is either date ghetto black bees or date really nice looking white bees.
Ooh.
And,
Well, you had a winner.
And I was like, because I looked at him like, I'm white and you're black. I'm so confused. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, obviously that was him self-hating, like what he was, you know,
And then,
his part of himself, and other black men as well. Like anytime I had dated them, it was always like, oh well, there's no way I'd ever be with a darker skinned woman. I've always been with white women, and now that I see that, I'm just like, ew.
oh my god,
Like, that's so disgusting.
I gotta say something. I have to.
Okay, go ahead.
I have
disgusting.
to. Oh my gosh, this blows my mind
Okay.
every time I hear this, because have y'all ever heard Kanye West and Jamie Foxx's song Gold Digger? That is such an accurate description at the end, because let me just say, not even dark skin, light skin, but a black woman rides with this. When I say rides, I mean goes through heck and back with a black man so he can be successful, and then he leaves her for a white girl who he thinks looks better on his arm in the corporate office. Let me tell you something.
Isn't that literally what happened with Kanye West and Amber Rose?
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, no offense
I mean,
to
granted, she is lighter skinned, but I mean, true.
But and he was with the darker skinned woman before that. Then Amber Rose.
Say, to all the black men listening to this podcast, all black women are not angry. All black women are not ghetto. If that's the case, we can say all black men are going to be deadbeat fathers, and all black men are going to go to jail, even if you have a college degree from Yale. Ooh, that could have been a rap. But, but it makes me angry when this happens, because our president is black. It's a song, yes, I know, but guess what? His wife is black as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you guys this, but Michelle Obama is actually African American, black. I don't know. She probably uses Crisco just like the rest of us. Okay, that was just a joke, you guys. Okay, it's just a joke.
It's true.
But
puts that on the Instagram. It deletes the "it was a joke" part.
It was just a joke.
Right.
But you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
You can be successful, black men, with a black woman on your shoulder. Now, I'm all about the color love. I'll date anybody in any kind of rainbow, black, white, Hispanic, Italian, Haitian, Puerto Rican, like you name it, baby, I'm there. If you're a good man.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. If you're a good man and you can take care of me. But that's on a different topic.
Something I also noticed is they always say black women are ghetto, black women are this, black women are that, and then they get a white or Hispanic woman who is pretty much a caricature of a black woman, like Tyga, who dated a 17-year-old teenager. Black women are this, black women are that, but you're dating a white girl who had butt implants, lip injections, has cornrows in her head.
Look like a black woman.
Long nails. The same thing you say you don't like in a black woman, you like in this woman because her skin is lighter.
Yeah, it's acceptable because she's white, or it's acceptable because
that's what I'm saying. So the thing is black.
It's not black.
Don't like black.
Yeah, it's the self-hate again. Like, that's if it wasn't an issue, then he should be like, okay, well, I also like black women. It's the fact that he felt like that black part of that woman or that black part of that person was not good enough, and he needed a lighter skinned person. Even though they have all the same characteristics and they talk the same, they act the same.
Society says is black women characteristics.
Right. Even though they may have the same societal characteristics or what society says is characteristics of a black woman, then basically he hates it because she's black. So I just don't understand that. How can, I mean,
And I don't even think I don't think really he hates it because she's black. I think he hates it because when I say he, I'm not talking about Tyga because I really don't know who that is. But I mean, I've heard of him in Kylie, but that's just the first time I heard of him. I mean, no shade, because you know.
No.
Okay, you know about to say you know me. I really don't.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I really don't think that it's because when I say he, I mean the black man who only dates white women. He doesn't necessarily doesn't date black women because they're black, because he looks for the same societal characteristics in a white woman, or he goes completely opposite. But I think he doesn't date black women because he wants to be successful in life and he wants to achieve goals. He wants that 6-figure salary or to be on top of in his hierarchy. And I think he feels that he won't get there with a black woman on his side because the men around him are not going to have black women, and he wants to have somebody who looks like that. Their wives.
If somebody think like that, they're a fool.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what they do. A guy once told me, he said, I just don't date black women because they're mean, they're ghetto, what else he say? Oh, he's like, they're mean, they're ghetto, they're all loud, they always want to fight, and it was just everything you could think of, every stereotype you could think of that represents a black woman. And I asked him, I said, is your mom black? And he was like, yeah. But he was mixed. His dad's white. And,
oh my gosh.
And I was like, well, I said, do you think your mom is any of those things? He said, no, of course not. I said, well, so that means like all women are not that way. He said, I know that, but the majority of them are, and I don't. And he said, I'm not here for it. I said, okay.
Ew.
But 2 weeks later, or whenever later, sometime later, he introduces me to his girlfriend, who is as white as they can be, but as far as her looks wise, she's blonde hair, blue eyed, really, 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 really pale skin, like Kristen Stewart.
Are you coming for me?
No, no.
Oh, I'm not blonde haired anymore. I'm sorry, but anyway.
But like pale like Kristen Stewart. But when she opens her mouth, she says, "Hey, girl, how you doing?"
Oh my goodness!
And I was like, "Hey, girl, how are you?" Like, because I don't.
Yeah.
And she said something like, and then she was talking to me, and she was like, "And girl, and
ew,"
and and I'm just like, I was just like, what? This got to be a joke, because of what he had said to me previously.
Exactly.
And she was telling me about this girl who she didn't like, who she was gonna have to get on, because this is me impersonating her. I'm girl, because this girl, she after my man. She know he going somewhere, and I'm going right there with him.
Ew. And white people are so extra too when they do that. Like, they really are. Like, they don't even do it right to begin with. It's like so much more extra.
And what's so
overcompensating? Yeah. No, I had a girl at work one time told me that I think, and she's a black woman, she said, I think that white women who try to pretend like they are black women are more, what was the word she used? She used something, I don't know. It basically, they act more quote unquote
black
society's way of black than
we're supposed
black people
to
do. Yeah.
And that's crazy, because if a black woman wears her hair with a little color in it, or it's all colored, if it's red hair or gold hair or blue hair, purple hair, that's ghetto.
Yeah.
But white women, they do it all the time, and it's not considered ghetto. It's considered fashionable, and it's
because black people are a trend. The white community.
I understand that, but what I'm just pointing it out. And as far as self-hate goes, topic, it goes into that. When you see something happening so much, like I can't express I'm just gonna be honest. Maybe I have a little self-hate, but I don't know if you can constitute it as that, but I don't dye my hair any color at all because I don't want to be perceived as ghetto. I don't, if I get my hair done and I get or if I get a weave or something like that, that's already assimilating me, especially when I go looking for like corporate jobs. Like I'm gonna have to take out my braids, and I'm already assimilating into white culture.
I don't think that's necessarily self-hate. That's just you playing the system because you know what you have to do to get where you need to be.
But I've always wanted to dye my hair a color or get different type of hair color, and that's just I can't do that. I went a little crazy, you guys, and I always like short nails, but I got them done blue. And me and this
Oh my
white
God,
girl,
that's so crazy.
me and this white girl, we were friends, and she told me, I had never spoken to her, but her first impression of me was that I was ghetto.
What kind of racist?
But we were quote quote friends, and we were working, well, co-workers, should I say, and we were working together, and we got rather close. And she said that her first impression of me, she thought I was ghetto. I said, What did I say to you? She said, nothing. You didn't say anything you didn't say anything. I said, well, what do you mean? She's like, oh, I was just looking at your appearance.
Oh my God.
I was like, well, what? I had on shorts, a t-shirt, just like we all had the same t-shirt.
Yeah.
And jeans, but mine were short, and I had tennis shoes on. But it was my blue nails that let her know that I was ghetto.
That's terrible.
And I immediately went out and I changed my nails because you can't win in this world if you're black and you want to be perceived a certain way. You just can't. And it's sad and it's maybe a little self-hate, but what are you going to do? Not work?
I don't know. Let me just, because I have an anecdote or two. And the reason that I titled this episode the way that I did was because I myself was a champion of that self-hate. Not
Ooh,
as...
Yes. You should have seen yourself a freshman year. Time clock.
I wasn't even talking about that time.
Ooh, okay. Let me be quiet.
Interesting. But... anyways, I went to a private school from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. 98% white. All of my classmates, my class that I graduated with from kindergarten up there was white, except for like maybe 5 people at most. So I think my self-hating, like I said, it wasn't as overt, and I didn't exactly know what I was doing. But it's just when you grow up in an environment, I mean, I'm getting raised with these kids. What they like, what they're talking about, I want to talk about. I want to fit in. I want to be like them. And so eventually you come to a point where it's like, I didn't hang around even the black kids that were in my class. I really didn't hang around them. I wanted to hang around with the white folks. And when I had to get to other places like at church or whatever, I spoke proper, and I still kind of do. But
yeah, she really does overt. Okay,
that's not white. That's what
I'm just talking about. Your vocabulary is very expanded.
Oh, that's because of private school.
She's just smart.
But let me finish my story.
Okay, I'm sorry.
When people would say, like, children, they're like, "Oh, girl, you talk white," I'd be like, secretly inside, I'm like, "Oh, that's something good. So maybe I need to keep talking about this." And granted, when I was in that school, we didn't learn anything about Black history or anything, so I knew nothing. But I remember one time they were singing the Black national anthem one time at church or something like that, and everybody knew the song but me. And usually that would make a regular person like, "Oh, dang, I feel left out." But I was like, I guess I'm too smart to know the Black national anthem, or I'm too white, or
you
whatever
were brainwashed
to know the Black national anthem. And that's why, like, even growing up, I know I had to face some type of discrimination or microaggressions or something, but I don't even remember it. I think just because if you're grown, if you start 5th grade all the way up to 17 in that environment, you wouldn't even be able to identify if somebody was like being like shady towards you. The only time that I saw like overt racism, and that's like extreme because they went to the extreme, was when Obama got elected. That was 2008. So what happened was, this is an evangelical Christian school. You know, all of them are Republican. So Obama gets, it's the day before the election, and a black girl put up an Obama sticker on her car. Somebody physically goes to her car, peels the sticker off. It don't hardly peel off, so you know you still got some of the residue, so you know somebody yanked it off. Somebody went into the biology class, got a skeleton, took a rope, tied the rope around the skeleton's neck, put it on top of the ceiling, and put Obama on the skeleton. People were literally about to get into fights that day. And here's how coonish I was. That day, the whole lunchroom was segregated. The day that Obama got inaugurated, literally, all the black people were sitting at one table or like 3 tables, except for me. I'm over there sitting with the white folks eating the sandwich. But then I'm kind of like, this ain't right. I can't believe this. Why am I here? Why am I not over there with my black brethren? Like, hold on, these people are racist. These people that I thought were my friends. Like, I heard this girl that I thought was my best friend say the N-word multiple times. And I'm like, this ain't right. So you know what I did? That's the day I became woke. We talk about wokeness. I became woke 10th grade, 2008, after Obama, thanks Obama. He helped me regain my blackness, because I was like, really? You had somebody in my Spanish class saying, yeah, when Obama becomes elected, they're going to put watermelon places to grow watermelon in the front. And don't you know, I didn't even know that was a stereotype. I didn't even know eating watermelon was a black stereotype. And I was in 10th grade. And so I was just laughing, because everybody was laughing. And then
that's
my
so sad.
My Spanish teacher comes up there and she's like, that's not right. And then the girl's like, well, Gabby was laughing. And I was like, what's the problem with this? And then my teacher, she like went on this tangent. But then I looked it up and I was like, what? Eating watermelon is a stereotype? Drinking grape drink is a stereotype? And then I think back about different things. I remember in 6th grade, one of the students asked me what my favorite fruit was. And I said watermelon because I love watermelon. And then they just kind of snarked. And I remember I was like, why is that a big deal? And then this other black girl, she was like, well, I don't like watermelon. And like she made a big deal out of it. I was like, why are you making a big deal? But I didn't know, because
you were whitewashed like the Indians.
I didn't know. And then I tell you what, after that, I went to the library.
You educated yourself.
Week, I would get a new book. I started educating myself on black feminism. I started educating myself on the contributions black people have made. And I just started, it was just mind blowing to me. I remember in 8th grade, I wanted to do a project on Malcolm X. I didn't even know who Malcolm X was, but I just knew he was cool because black people would talk about him. So I went to my teacher and I was like, hey, can I do a project on Malcolm X? And because you had to write down who you wanted to do a project on. So before class ended, my teacher took me to the side and was like, hi, I want to talk to you about your project. And I was like, yes. And she was like, well, I don't really think it's appropriate for you to do a PowerPoint on Malcolm X. I think it might be a little too polarizing. He really doesn't represent Christian values. Granted,
that is crazy.
People were doing projects on Thomas Jefferson, a rapist and a racist. And nobody even blinked the eye. But me trying to do something on somebody I felt was somebody that helped change America. Now, had he been Martin Luther King, they would have said, oh, yes, please. But And then my brother
agree.
tried to do a project on Malcolm X a couple years back, and they told him the same thing. But wrapping it all up, pretty much I was brainwashed. I had self-hatred. I looked down on people that I considered ghetto and loud, and I didn't really want to be associated with them.
She probably hated me freshman year.
No. What didn't I say 10th grade?
I'm talking about but I'm saying you still y'all.
I was not telling me because I don't think I was like that.
She wasn't all the way like uppity, but she was uppity, y'all.
How was I uppity?
You could just tell, like
I was just shy.
It's a difference between being shy and looking down your nose.
I did not. I did not. I can't believe that. I'm offended.
I'm sorry you're offended. But it's the truth.
Lord help. But now I love black people. I love everything
but
black.
at least you
at
least you went and got educated. These other girls that I know, they're black. They made the same excuses about how they went to an all white school and they didn't do this. They don't know they don't really know a lot about African American history, and they didn't really care what was going on in the world as far as the whole President Obama getting reelected for the second term when that was happening. And I was asking them, well, why? Like, well, we went to a school, we didn't even celebrate Black History Month. We didn't even really know it was a month until like 8th or 9th grade.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, so you didn't, go to
what?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
at least I had something in my church. Did they just go to an all-white church?
They didn't. I don't know. I didn't ask that, but I know. I said, so you didn't go to the library and look it up? You never were curious? She's like, I just don't care.
Oh my goodness.
It's become people who choose to be ignorant about things that they don't know about. Like if I don't know something, that's why I'm always asking, "Ooh, what is that? I've never heard of that." But even if I don't know, I will educate myself on something, because I don't want to be ignorant. I don't want to be one of those people that is being made fun of because you don't want to know about African American history, but you're black.
Yeah,
that's so contradicting to
really
me. Or that's just like people who, okay, I guess I have a weight issue, I guess, but my people close to me, they always ask me when they're getting ready to exercise. People I know are very exercise conscious. They're exercise all the time. Well, it's best not to eat this, but they eat whatever they want. But because I've gained weight since school, they'll point out what I eat or point out what I don't eat at the time that I eat it, and it's like, huh? Like, are you mad because you don't have this nice juicy piece of cheese pizza?
My thing is they will eat the nice juicy piece of cheese pizza, but then come back as you're eating a juicy piece of pizza, and then they get upset and they're like, ew, why are you eating that pizza when they just ate a pizza like one day ago? Like, that's what gets me. Exactly. That's what gets me the most.
I'm wondering to myself, okay, what do you mean I eat out too much? Okay.
Don't you eat McDonald's and French fries every day?
Or aren't you eating out every day, but I'm eating a salad or I'm eating this? Okay, you're not eating salads every day.
Right.
And Chick-fil-A is not salad.
Right.
And if you are, it's okay to, or people will say to me, it's okay to eat what you want. You just have to be conscious of it. But you don't have to be conscious of it. I'm not unhealthy in any way. I've been to the doctor several times since I've been home, and everybody is a little overweight according to the charts.
Yeah, BMI.
Which is
the
outdated.
BMI charts. But I am not. I feel like I'm a good size, and even if I wasn't a good size, who are you to tell me? Hey, you can tell me, hey, I'm worried for your health. You should exercise, or that's just my opinion. I'm just stating this because I love you. But if you're not coming to me like that, and you're coming to me, oh, you know you don't need that excuse me, you know you don't need that. First of all, that's grammatically incorrect.
Right.
Secondly, that just makes a person feel bad. You know, what do you mean? And then I do it and I eat it anyway, just to prove a point.
Right.
I can eat what I want. I don't even want that second donut, but I'm gonna eat it because you told me I can't.
Right.
So that's when I say that's another form of self-hate, because why are you upset? Why do you work out 7 times a day? You're not a model. You're not a fitness model.
She coming for you, Gabby. She coming for you, Gabby.
No, she ain't talking to me.
She is.
I'm really not, though.
I just think you are because of how she acts.
She knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You're not, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I get that.
It's their own insecurities
It's your own
put on them. Yeah.
And I get some people like exercising because it decreases their stress.
Yeah.
Which is something that this person often says to me. But when you're telling me about this, and then another person says the same thing, oh, it decreases stress. But when you hollering and you're yelling, but when you're hollering and you're yelling, that doesn't sound very stress-free to me. And it kills me. It makes me feel so bad about myself sometimes because they'll tell me, oh, let's not eat this at this time of night. But I haven't eaten all day. And you eat whatever you want when you want, but because you're the size you think is right.
Right.
It's okay for you?
Right.
So that doesn't
That's
make
terrible.
any sense. Or or somebody else close to me will tell me, "Are you going to get down here and exercise with me?" And I say, "Oh, sure, sometimes." But then they wait till the last minute to do it, and then I'm tired.
Right.
And then as soon as I say, "Yeah," that person will tell me, "Oh, no, you're not."
What?
Well, I just told you I am. And then they'll body check you and say, "Oh, no, you're not." What? Excuse me?
Have
That's
you ever
rude.
had people come to you and ask you? Because, like I said earlier, I think it was on a previous podcast, but I am the healthiest fat girl you've ever met. And I actually was talking about what I eat and stuff like that with a coworker. And the coworker was like, "What? You don't eat sugar?" I was like, "No, you don't eat meat?" I was like, "No." And she was like, "Well, how did you get so big?" And I was just like,
slap her.
Who asks that question? One, and then I also have a coworker who is very, very thin, like really, really thin. Where like it's like kind of people look at her like, "Oh my God, why are you so thin?" And I was sitting by her, and I had someone come up to her and ask her, "What size pants do you wear?" And it's just like, just because
it's never
you don't,
enough if you're too
just
thin or you're
because-
too big. It's crazy.
just because you feel like in society standards that you are supposed to look this certain way, just because you feel that way doesn't mean
everybody else
that
does.
everyone else is going to be that way. Or just because you feel like you're the healthiest person because you're skinny doesn't mean anything.
You actually are.
Or that you are healthy. Healthy does not equal skinny at all.
And let me just point out that I am healthy as far as what I eat. I don't eat red meat. At all. I don't eat beef or pork. I stick with poultry and fish. And I don't really eat too much fish because I'm allergic to the red dye in seafood. So everything I eat has to either be fried or baked, and most of it's baked.
Yeah.
And or heavily grilled to charred. And I just feel like if you knew, I mean, I'm not eating, burgers and fries every day. It's just my weight goes to a different place than yours.
And
if my
even if
weight
it-
went to
even
my
if you
butt
are,
instead of my
whose
stomach,
business is that?
it would
Right.
be acceptable.
Yeah, that's true.
If my weight went to my upper half, can we say that
Yeah.
in here? Okay. If it went to my upper half at the top, then it would be acceptable. But because it goes to my stomach and my stomach is not flat.
As a fat person, I have had men hide me. I definitely am not about to be around his boys. I'm definitely not to be around his friends because he don't want none of his friends to see that he got a fat girl. And not only that,
Dump him.
well, obviously. I mean, and I've also had men who I had met over online who don't even say anything to me in real life when I see them passing by on a date and just stand me up because they see that I'm fat. I have also had men poke my stomach when we're together.
People
and
poke
be
my
like,
stomach too, girl.
and be like, oh, why do you still have that? Or I've had men who have tried to shape my food habits, who want me to eat a certain way, who want me to be, when they're not healthy themselves, like this is them drinking alcohol all the time, this is them smoking all the time, this is them basically never eating anything healthy but want me to be vegan. I've had so much trouble with men just looking at me differently because I am a fat person, and
it makes you feel bad. It
does make you feel bad.
Makes you, if you don't go to self-hate, it makes you close to self-hating.
It has reflected like my healthy relationships that I have now, like to the fact where I can't trust what someone else says because I'm afraid that they're just saying this and they actually feel like, hey, I need to be healthy so that I'm not fat for their friends, or you want to hide me because I'm fat, or I can't be around such and such because I'm fat. And it has affected my healthy relationships now.
It
really has.
And furthermore,
it makes you hate yourself.
Gabby hasn't said anything because she's that person that works out 7 days a week.
Yeah, that's why I said I think you're coming for her.
But I wasn't going to Gabby.
Well, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, she does. She works out and she's very healthy, and she's helped me become healthy, because before Gabby, I literally ate everything that I could put my hands on because I had a really bad problem with binge eating, and I hated myself so much. Yeah, anytime I feel stressed, like right now, like, and Gabby knows this, my stress food is hot Cheetos. Like last week and the previous week,
my stress
I was
food
stressing
is grease.
and I had lots of hot Cheetos.
I will go, especially if it's something close to me. Most stuff in my life I could care less about. I just shrug it off.
Yeah.
But if it's something very close to me, if you're close to me, you can get to me. And that's why I don't really allow too many people to be close to me.
Yeah.
But I eat. I do. Even if I just ate a full dinner, I will go and eat something else. Or I will, like, one day I was upset.
Oh,
I had just eaten dinner, and I don't know what, we had bought muffins, chocolate muffins. And I went to go get a muffin, and my sister said, Joy, you know you don't need that. And I'm like, okay. And I put it in the microwave, and I ate it.
Good.
Just to spite her.
Yeah.
And she just shook her head, and it made me so upset with her. Like, I was already upset. Obviously, that's why I'm eating. And then as soon as she left, I threw it away because I really didn't want it.
My problem was, especially in college and before Gabby introduced me to like health and how even as a fat person I can be healthy. But my thing was going to the Dollar Tree and getting any and everything that I could that was sugar and just eating it. I would eat a bag of gummy worms. I would eat a bag of those little caramel things. I would eat.
I like them.
Yeah, them were good. I would also eat a tub of ice cream. That was the ones with the pecans. What is it called?
I've tried to do that. I've never. It's
ice cream. A whole tub of ice cream, and I'm not talking about the little quart one, the little individual one that you get yourself. I'm talking about the big one. And I would eat those, and then also I would get me a bag of hot Cheetos. I mean, right now I'm trying to stay, like I said, I haven't ate sugar in a really long time. But right now I'm trying to wean myself off of hot Cheetos. So
see, you're better than me because
I'm slowly getting there.
You're much better than me when you're going on your binging, because I will go like that if it's okay. Say it's 8:00. And whatever I'm upset about now. It's 8:00. I'll go get fast food. Say, for instance, like in school, if I was stressed or whatever, I would go to Cookout, get a full meal, eat, come back, and it's
eat your snacks.
No, come back. It's drink a whole gallon of juice, like the whole juice bottle with my meal, And then it's 10 o'clock. I'm still upset.
Mhm.
And I go to Taco Bell the
Ooh,
same
yes.
night. Then I'll go,
I've done that.
as I'm going to Taco Bell, I want fries. So I'll go to McDonald's and get
Mhm.
salty fries.
Yep.
I have a problem with fast food
Which
when I
is
get
why
upset.
Whenever I started being vegetarian, it
and
helped
then-
so much because I didn't eat fast
And then
food
I
anymore.
hate myself because I've done. That's where my self-loathing comes in sometimes, because as I'm doing that, I know I shouldn't be doing that.
So
then
you just keep doing
then
it.
I've spent
Yeah.
$20 on fast food.
You're like, why? My life.
And I just get so upset that I'm more depressed
Yep.
that I eat more.
That's what happens. I swear. You're so right. 100%. And I don't know, Gabby, have you ever experienced something like that where you self-hate so much where you just like, you're through. So you just keep eating or you
Yeah.
just keep doing something else?
Yeah, we're eating. Yeah. If there's stuff in the house that I can eat, because I'm vegetarian, so they don't really have much stuff for me. But if it's like, let me see, let me say back in high school, yeah, like we used to have cakes, and I used to go ham. And I got a little chub a little bit. I got a little
Girl,
chub.
if you don't get out
I
of
did get
here
a little chub
with
but-
those little bitty tiny abs, I'm through with you. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you can't-
So I can't even express my
Her
you
little
asked me a
abs.
question.
Look at her
Don't you
muscles.
hate when somebody who knows that they're not big says, "Oh, I got a little fat." Like
I
did
got
I
a
say
little
fat?
chub.
Did I say
I got a
fat?
little chubby. Oh,
I got
do
chubby.
you? Or as my sister likes to say, "Do you see my stomach?" Like
No, what stomach?
What
No, I
stomach?
swear, Gabby, she always like grabs her skin and she's like, my skin, this is my chub. I'm like, that's your skin. You're holding your muscles in.
Let me.
That's it.
Okay, just forget about it. Don't ask me no more questions.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
Because
ahead.
we were
Go
talking about
ahead with your
binging.
chub.
We're done.
And according to what I've heard, binging has nothing to do with your size.
No, it doesn't. But
So let
your
me
chub.
just
Duh.
finish explaining myself. Anyways, yeah. So around, let me say, like the totality of high school, I don't know why, but something. I don't know. I was just dealing with different things, I guess hormones, and just figuring out my way in life, as we all do around teenage age. And then I would do that, not frequently, but I would just have times when I just be going ham, like, why am I doing this? I've already ate. I'm not hungry anymore. Yet I go sneak back downstairs to get another honey bun and another bag of chips, and just like, why?
And then
you
you get called out on it, or at least
Yeah,
I do.
like,
You get called out on it the next day, like especially when you sneak and eat. Why should I have to sneak and eat in my own
At your own
home?
house. Yeah.
Like, why is it sneaking? But anyway, and then it's just it's horrible. Self-hating comes in all forms, not just race.
Yeah.
It comes in body image. It comes in work.
Also, we didn't talk about like women, how they are
Hate
always
other
saying,
women. Oh my god.
yeah, the
Yeah.
whole
We can talk about that real quick.
I don't want to be friends with other women because they're too dramatic. Like, who says that? You just want
People
to
say it.
have fun with men. You just
But
want
yeah,
to be
and
friends
it's
with
like
men.
they gossip. Women gossip too much, but men gossip way more. Like men talk about women like a dog. They can talk about dudes
Each
like
other
a dog.
yes.
It's just
They
the same
talk-
thing. It's
they
just,
talk so much more than women do.
They really do, and the
But
thing
not
is,
around women though.
right?
So that's why women think that they don't talk.
Because the only reason that women are gossiping about other women to men is so they can be approved by the men.
Right.
It goes back to that, and I don't know. It's just
That's self-hatred.
it's self-hatred. Like you get the also. Let's talk about, people hate millennials. The people that post on Facebook those videos are around our age and like, yeah, millennials are terrible. We're lazy. We're this and we're that.
I think they're talking about the other generation. Of
No,
women.
they're talking about
No,
themselves, and they do
they
this
do
so
talk
that they
about
can get
themselves.
approval. Everybody's doing stuff for approval. You're trying to get approval from people that are older than you. Why? I guess you're trying to get a job or something. Talking bad to millennials like you're not a millennial yourself. So everything you're saying, you're pretty much saying applies to you too. So it's just weird. I
What
don't know.
was it? You were telling me about something about some white rapper, and he was talking.
Oh,
about,
yeah.
yeah. Bring that
There's
up because that's
this,
real important. That's hilarious.
I don't
to
mind
me.
calling them out. There's this radio station, American Family Radio.
That's the radio that I listen to get angry.
Yes, but they have a
It's
urban
an American
station.
Family Radio.
Yeah, they have an urban station.
You know what I feel about that urban.
Yeah, so but that's what they call it. And so American Family Radio is the conservative talk show type deal. And so the urban side is the same talking points, but it's with black people. And so they had a white rapper come on, and he was talking about, I was so like mind blown because I couldn't believe this. So they were talking bad about Lecrae. And you know, Lecrae is a really, really big Christian hip hop artist, and he's made it like really big mainstream, like on the Grammys and everything. So they were talking bad about him, like he doesn't represent Christ or he don't do this, whatever, you know, just hating. So the white guy, he goes on there and he's like, yeah, because you know, some artists talking about Lecrae talk about these social issues or whatever to try to get approval from society, because Lecrae did come out and he's like been really vocal on social justice issues. Anyways, the white guy was like, yeah, but you know, I released this song and people been loving it and some people been hating it because it's controversial and it's not what everybody talking about. So this white guy released this song called All Lives Matter. In this song, he says, if Black lives matter, then why do we have abortion clinics? Now, what does that have to do with anything? If you want to talk about abortion clinics,
He must have almost been aborted.
but he's white. The man is white.
Oh, okay.
So first of all, it's the idea of you talking down to black people like you know more about black issues than a black person, and then you just taking two whole different instances. If you want to talk about abortion, okay, let's talk about why all these people having all these unwanted pregnancies because of not enough sex education or social economic things. They can't afford to have a child, and then the whole song, he was just like, yeah, I'm a Christian. Yeah, you say because I'm white, I can't talk about these things. And I don't. And he said, yeah, a lot of black people, whenever I'm having these conversations, they're like, oh, yeah, you wouldn't understand because you're white. Well, you know what I say to them? Well, there's a lot of other black people. Every black person is different. And every black person then had a different experience. And so if I get a black person on here that co-signs with what I say, then y'all listen to me. Something dumb like that. And the people over there on the show were like, yes, you are so right. I agree with everything you saying. Oh, yes, we need to listen to you. And it was just so like, why? Why?
What's this guy's name?
I don't even remember. It started with an A. Some dude.
Exactly.
Just look up
Exactly.
the song, y'all, so you can be just flabbergasted.
Yeah, that's not a topic of self-hate.
It's
That's
called All
just
Lives
hate.
Matter. Yeah, I was talking about self-hatred as far as those black radio hosts. They were boosting them up like, yeah, you right, man, you right. Like, why?
And they're not doing that because most people who like us, they're talking about it to get ratings. You know, it's a line that you have to.
I don't know about that.
Well, most people are.
I don't know about that. American Family Radio. I don't know about that.
I'm talking about if it's not on American Family Radio and somebody's talking about like we're talking about him because you thought he was horrible.
Yeah.
But other people can talk about him because they thought he was horrible, but they want other opinions. They want people to call into their show.
True.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Everything is not as black and white as it seems.
Well, yeah, we're kind of going over, but I really enjoyed this conversation, and we hope you learned something. Oh, I want to shout out the people in the SoundCloud community that have been supporting us and reblogging all of our stuff. Mainly the John Effect, who like, dang, every episode he's reblogging us on SoundCloud and just giving us major love and support. Also, we got some issues. We love them. It's a couple, a man and a woman.
Oh yeah, they're great.
And they are very, very funny. It's like a comedy type podcast, and they talk about different relationship issues, and I love them. And also, I want to shout out the Wind Down.
Yes, I found them, and I was like, "Oh, this is different," but like, I really like it.
Yeah, it's two women. They're kind of, I don't know their ages,
They're
but they're
not-
like
they're not
motherly
millennials,
age, mother
obviously.
age,
Yeah,
and they
they're not.
commented on our college episode, and apparently we've had similar experiences, even though they're in a whole other generation. And I really like their podcast. They give me that other point of view that I don't normally get.
I feel like when I listen to them, that we're like sitting back on a couch or something, and
Listening
we're
to
all
our
drinking
aunties.
wine.
Yeah.
Talking to our aunties or something.
Yeah, just shout out to them. Thank you guys for supporting us. We're still figuring all this out, and more importantly, thank you to all our fans and our listeners and supporters, everybody that's listened to our podcast so far, that's given us positive feedback. We love you.
Even the negative feedback, we appreciate all the negativity as well, because that helps improve ourselves and what we can do, and stuff like that.
And yeah, so make sure you hit us up. You launch your comments, concerns. We want to hear from you, because you help us. We help you by giving you good content. You help us by giving us topics, and we might even get you on the show. So hit us up. If you want to email us, talkitoutpodcast@yahoo.com, facebook.com/talkitoutpodcast. Our SoundCloud, listen to us on soundcloud.com/talkitout. Our Instagram, which I said before, is popping. It's really good. Instagram.com/talkitoutpodcast. And we're on iTunes, everything. So yeah, we love to hear from you. Thank you again, guys, for all your love and support.
And don't forget to go to audibletrial.com/talkitout, where they have like 1,800 audiobooks to choose from. It's great. They have kid stories that I read to my cousins. They have cookbooks, music books, everything you can think of, and it's so great. My whole household is like Audible crazy right now.
Yeah, we love it. But yeah, this is
Joy,
K.T.
and Gabby, and this is Talk It Out.
Talk it out.